Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games. Here we have Chris on Rainbow Depths, a faster build of Turbo Depths than we've been seeing, versus Spencer on 4-color SnOko. So we've got a Vampire Hexmage right out of the gate, Arkham's Astrolabe for Spencer, Urborg. Oh wow, just an immediate scoop there. So the Dark Depths came down, and Spencer scooping it up, as he's not going to be able to stop the 2020. Fair enough. Well, that is a very fast first game there. Rainbow Depths, for the most part, not running Elvish Reclaimer, a card that was very popular when it got printed. And, you know, as it turns out, it may just be not what Turbo Depths is looking for. It is a card that maybe having some number in the deck works out, but having a full play set doesn't seem to be the direction that Dark Depths wants to go in right now. It is just a much faster build, running the Once Upon a Times and just trying to build the combo as quickly as possible using Thespian Stage or your Vampire Hexmage. And yeah, that first game just shows the speed of the deck. Now, it's also really fast, like psychologically, to play against, because that was the third turn, which isn't that fast for Legacy. Like you on the second turn got out a Merit Lage, the third turn attacking for 20, so Burn can win on turn 3, but the actual amount of things that need to happen for a Turbo Depths player to win, it's pretty short. Like you can have a game that's over in like 15 seconds compared to Storm, where yeah, they could win on the first or second turn, but a first turn win with Storm is typically going to at least be a lot of decisions, a lot of plays, things that can potentially be responded to, and potentially fumbled along the way. Pretty tough to fumble with a Merit Lage, as you just got to turn it sideways, and that'll do it. So let's skip ahead for Game 2. All right, Prismatic Vista for Spencer, and a Thespian Stage plus Lotus Petal for Chris. Snow-covered island. We're going to see a lot more snow, thanks to Kaldheim, I would imagine. Now we've got a Duress. And wow, Spencer opting to Force of Negation this. Very interesting. Force of Negation. Not the most valuable card in his hand. And we'll see what it is. We've got an Oko. Now the problem with Oko is, while he can answer Merit Lage, it's not going to be at instant speed, so you've got to find a way to buy time. Icefang Quaddle, probably the best option for that. Getting something flying in front of a Dark Depths. Back when this was part of the... was it Modern or Extended back then? Bitter Blossom at one point was a pretty solid foil for Dark Depths. And Abrupt Decay, having taken out Oko, still a 3/3 to deal with. The most likely way to actually deal with the 3/3 will be just killing the SnOko player. Thoughtseize, trying to keep things under control, grabbing a Dreadhorde Arcanist. Swords to Plowshares will still have to get handled. Chris down to 10. There's the Dark Depths. And a Vampire Hexmage. I am not sure what I just witnessed there. It looked like a Swords targeting the Vampire Hexmage. And then a full art Path to Exile, perhaps? So Spencer with all of the answers. Kind of, I don't see a reason to use the swords on the Hexmage. That's very interesting. It kind of forced the interaction. Yeah, I can't picture why. I mean, maybe to prevent like crop rotation for a Sajiri Step, potentially creating a level of protection. But you could always just respond with the other swords if you have the mana. So very interesting. Well, we're on to game number 3. And that's something you're going to notice with Rainbow Depths or any of the faster Turbo Depths builds. The longer the game goes, you know, it gets pretty grim. It shares a lot of DNA with lands, but it's not lands. The ability to use like a Life from Loam Wasteland lock and like really grind your opponent out is not part of the strategy here. You are just trying to get a 20-20 down as fast as possible. Your Duresses and Thoughtseizes are not so much about trying to control the opponent, it's just creating a window and just punching through for 20 damage as quickly as possible. You don't have ways of really getting back into the game. Contrast that to something like Spencer's deck, a Dreadhorde Arcanist. You can be behind. If you stabilize, Dreadhorde can just pull you like really, really far ahead. Or it can potentially claw back into the game if you're behind, as long as your opponent doesn't have a board presence that you can't swing into. Now we see a Thoughtseize with some cards that must be dealt with. Swords to Plowshares being taken. Swords to Plowshares and Karakas and Wasteland make like Death and Taxes a pretty gross matchup. It doesn't seem it. It's such a weird deck. Death and Taxes is one of those decks that just doesn't look like it would be any good, but it's a problem for some of the strongest strategies in the metagame. We got a Vampire Hexmage coming down. There's a Thespian stage already, so several ways of making a 20-20 once the Dark Depths shows up. Either one of these is going to be fine. The Urborg would allow... Oh no, it looks like we've got an end-step crop rotation. Or actually in response to a Brainstorm. So Brainstorm and now a land being played. And Chris is facing down a Flooded Strand. So the shields were down momentarily for that crop rotation. But if Spencer does have a Swords to Plowshares, it's going to be a problem. Force of Will. Stopping Duress. Oh, but Spencer just doesn't have it. So the Force, basically just for the lulls there, as the Merit Lage is able to close that game out. And, you know, it feels like Turbo Depths is the deck you want to be playing in this matchup. Let me know in the comments which side of the table you'd rather be on and what you think about these new Rainbow Depths build. They do seem faster. And hopefully we'll see some more of them on the channel, as they are a really interesting combo deck. Something that you can win without even casting a spell, but is still that fast, is something that you don't see very often in other formats. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.